January comes with plenty of diet advice, and now the government is weighing in too. The White House released new dietary guidelines today that could be tough to follow for those of you with a sweet tooth. The updated recommendations suggest limiting sugar to 10% of our daily calories. It's the first time the government has advised to limit sugar consumption for many Americans. That will mean cutting their sugar intake by half. Dr. Robert Silverman is a certified clinical nutritionist, and he joins me now on set. Hey, doctor.
How are you?
So let me ask you, the first question I think a lot of people are going to have is, should we be trusting the government to tell us what to do? Because so many of the things that you and I grew up with thinking that were bad for us, meat, milk, butter, the government went back and said, well, those things aren't so bad for you. You know, you can have those in moderate consumption. So what's with this new study?
You know, great point. I don't know if we should trust the government with all that, but let me shed a little light on all this. In reference to sugar, sugar is a toxin. It's a great move. I mean, the average American consumes 152 pounds of sugar per year.
Wow.
When you go back 100 years, it was 4 pounds. That's 22
Wait, it was 4 pounds 100 years ago. Now we consume 152 pounds of sugar per year.
Yeah.
The average American.
Right, 22 teaspoons per day. Children under 12 are consuming approximately 50 pounds of sugar per day.
That's incredible.
High fructose corn syrup is 8 to 15% of our total calories. So the fact that they've signified sugar, and I will tell you, sugar is a toxin, it's a great start to getting American healthy again.
Now Americans are more obese than ever. I mean, and that has little to do or not as much to do with the things that sometimes people think about when they're dieting, which are carbohydrates and fat, and probably more to do with sugar.
It probably has everything to do right now, and the change was in the late 70s when these low-fat guidelines came out and said, eat all these carbohydrates. So all these fake sugars came in, and all these high fructose corn syrup sugars came in, whereas now we're realizing that a good quality fat, lowering carbohydrates to good quality carbohydrates like vegetables, really is the way to go for overall health.
If you are eating fruits, which obviously have natural sugar in them, you could eat fruit every single day as long as you stayed away from the cereals and the candy bars and the 42 ounces of soda. You could get away with eating fruits every day and not worry about this sugar consumption.
A certain amount of fruits,
yeah.
You know, something like berries and an apple, very low on the glycemic index. Too many bananas, higher on the glycemic index. To speak to the cereals, one of my patients had the best takeaway about a food label. He said, if there's too many ingredients on it, there's got to be some hidden sugar.
Exactly.
I'm not in. You know, it's interesting about sugar in that when they gave it to mice, it was 94% more desirable than cocaine.
Really?
Yeah, 94%.
The mice like sugar more than they like cocaine.
94% more.
Wow. Okay. So, so besides the sugar guidelines that the government now is saying that we should cut back, what are some of the other things that they're asking us to do?
Some of the biggest things that they recommended was they found out that college, high school men and adult men were eating too much protein. That's huge.
Wow. Okay. That's an interesting one because I mean, that's probably, I have that issue where I tend to eat a lot more proteins with some leafy vegetables. But is that an issue?
Well, we're consuming too much as men. So that's almost half the patient population, where sugar is 100% of the patient population.
Robert Silverman, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
All right.